Hello guys, this is ThaxT2K and this is my second part of Gardens, Gardens versus Warfare, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, character walkthrough. In my first video, I talked all about the different classes of the plants, what they do and special perks they have. And on this video is going to be all about the zombies, which I personally like to play a lot of. So, and as you can see by the nice little record, I've done quite a few killings on them. Well, killed a lot of other people. Obviously, with the spawnable zombies, they only work for gardens versus graveyards, or I think taco bandits as well. But don't quote me on that one. So, either way, you got quite a few abilities, and some seasonal ones like the pumpkin brown coat, turkey brown coat, and holiday brown coat. Christ, I can't believe how many hill zombies I've got. I think I'd start using them a bit more actually. So, first, either way, you've got Dr. Zombos. He'll fly up in the air. And obviously look after the zombie type, zombie side of things. And obviously, as you can see, there is abilities, to help you on the map. But this is more Gardens versus, No, I think it might be a thing, actually. I'm not quite sure on that one, but I think he might, mainly used for Gardens versus Graveyards. But I think he might be able to, it's available for everything else, so same as Crazy Dave. Without further ado, let's meet the foot soldier. Obviously, this is the infantry type of character. He's direct impact. Direct impact. Shooting. Obviously, if you get some critical hits, he'll do a bit more damage. But also with these guys, they're more, they can go short, but their ability is more medium and long. Obviously, you got your ZRPG, which you can actually KO someone in one or cause quite a lot of splash damage on him. And we got other abilities as well, as you can see. So we'll go on to the first one. This is your Camo Ranger. Obviously, this is the longest range you can longest range they can actually see out of the zombie type. Obviously, with this one, it causes extra damage for critical hits, as a sniper usually does. But for this one, I like to play as quite a bit, so you're better off in the background, sniping. So you can get most ability you've done with him. Next, you got your Super Commando. Obviously, direct impact yet again, but he'll only fire. He'll let 4 Ps go at once though, not Ps, pellets. But quite fast reload. Fast reload. So if you see your opponent at a bit of range just standing still, it can cause some real damage. So now you've got your General Supremo, quite more impact damage, but with this one, he's more of a minigunner type thing where he'll fire a load of shots all at once and within an area as well. So obviously, if there's someone trying to hide around a corner, there'll be a few stray bullets that will actually hit a person. So it can be quite useful in that. Next is no one of my favourites is the tank commander. Obviously, he'll cause impact splash damage, but with this one, you'll only fire one shot rounds. So, but as you're doing that, you can really cause severe damage on impact, or if someone's hiding around the corner, it will cause even more damage. Just on the splash. So, it's more short range, but you can get quite useful for long range as well, depending on how well you know the map and how good your sight is as well. Next, you got your Arctic Trooper. Obviously, you'll fire quite a few shots at people, but obviously, the more times you hit a person, well, plant, it'll cause freezing damage, and they'll freeze, and you can have your way with them. But by the time that you've done that, they're usually quite dead anyway. So you got your Sky Trooper, impact again, but a bit like the Commando. Yeah, Commando P. He can actually fire quite fast with his gun, but the more impact you can get is the better. And the latest one is Centurion, which is your fire damage version. Obviously, the more plants you hit, the well, as soon as you hit a plant, you start causing fire damage on them. So next, we've got the Engineer class. What these guys will do is they've got the special ability on Gardens versus Gardens versus Graveyards, where they can actually repair strategically placed teleporters. So obviously you just go to the teleporter, build it up, and everyone that goes through you get 10 coins every time. So, and also you can build like the defensive turrets to keep the teleporter safe from plants. But also this is explosive damage, well, splash damage. But obviously you can't get the full range before stuff explodes. So say if you're from say 50 yards or 50 metre shot, it'll only go like say 20 metres, 30 before it explodes. So don't expect to be sniped with this character. Obviously you can actually have a drone on him as well, like the cactus and stuff like that. Next, we've first we got is the welder. Obviously, he will cause fire damage, well, fire splash damage. So not the fastest reloading, but more impact. Next, we got the painter. I think that he's got a faster fire rate, but obviously got short range. The mechanic, he will fire nuts and bolts at at the enemy. Obviously this is more direct impact, but obviously more times you hit him, the more painful it gets for the other person, cause more damage. The electrician, obviously, as soon as like everyone, like the others of the electric type, as soon as he hits the one player, if anyone's near him, they'll get electric shocked. The plumber, just, causes splash damage, but I think that's about it really with him. Landscaper, I don't know. I know that it impacted splash, but I think there may be two types of toxic damage for these, but I'm not quite sure of that. Yeah, because you also got your sanitation expert, which will cause toxic damage, but obviously he's more direct impact as well. So next we go on to scientist. Obviously this is your first aider for the plants. I mean for the zombies. Obviously, when he fires it, fires his guns, he ain't got as much. Well, ain't got as much ammo as you would like it, but obviously, from a distance, he's not going to be effective. But short and mid range, he can be more than a handful. So, the next thing is his abilities. Excuse me again. We've got the chemist for the first one. Obviously, he is short range, and he has got if you get right near someone, he can actually cause quite a bit of damage. That's from, well, as you can see from that record, I've never had the chance to use him fully. The physicist, obviously, he's the another shocking type again. Obviously, when he hits someone, any people plants near him will get electrocuted. But short range again. Doctor Toxic, he'll cause toxic damage, but also like Toxic P, if you get near him, you get toxic poisoned. But he's more of a mid range as well. Uh, Astronaut. Try to think he's got his special features. Well, his impact damage, but obviously the more impact you get, the better. Well, he's long range as well, so no, didn't know that. You learn everything every day. The marine biologist, one of my favourites as well. Well, design wise, a dolphin has a gun. What more do you expect? But spray impact damage, so it'll cover a bit of a distance. The more central it is, the more impact you get, so on and so on. The archaeologist, obviously, you can actually fire out short or long, but impact damage, so you gotta make sure that you've got to hit them spot on. Dr. Chester, this is the other person who you could actually get with the Lays Chester's offer, but after they were done, they decided to give this one for free. Obviously, impact damage yet again, short range, and the paginologists. Obviously, he'll cause fire damage like you expect with any other fire person. So next we got is the All Star, which is one of my favourite classes. Obviously, this is your tank version for the zombies. Obviously, they don't they ain't got any ammunition. Well, ammunition can't at all. But obviously, after a while, when your gun gets overheated, well, your gun will get overheated, and obviously, it will take about 2 or 3 seconds for cooldown. Bit like the heavy for Team Fortress 2, but I think All Star's a lot more better actually. So obviously, we've got the original All Star. He's more direct impact, like the rest. Well, with majority of the others actually. But the shorter you are, the more damage you cause. The further back, the less the damage you cause. So there is abilities. First we got is the baseball star. This one's more range suppression, as you can see down there anyway. So if he's in it, if you're in more of an area and shooting, you can cause a bit of damage by that. The rugby star, obviously you get splash damage for him. So on short and mid range, well, shorter range you are, the more pain you cause. More further away, the less you cause, but also you get splash damage as well if you aim near the feet, if you don't hit them all the time. Next you got is the hockey star, which where he just fires gloves at people. He's more, he's more mid-range than anything, but he's not the greatest, to tell you the truth. Even as it says, on impact damage, it's not great. So next you got the cricket star. Obviously, he'll cause fire damage. Obviously, the more you hit and the more damage you get, give them. And obviously, if they try to run away, they get fire damage. Short, medium, or long is quite effective. Next, you got the Goldie Star. He's the frost damage. Obviously, the more you hit, and the the better chance of they'll be thrown to the spot for your disposal. The Wrestling Star. Obviously, is more impact, but obviously he's the more powerful. If the closer you are with this guy, the more damage he causes. Even from a distance, it can still cause that quite a bit of damage. Then that's next, last but not least, is the Ghost Star. Funny enough, he's actually more, the sniper version of him. The All Stars. Obviously, it can cause quite a bit of damage from long range than any other. Well, it can cause damage. If you hit him on target, at a faster pace. But obviously, the closer you get, the more havoc you can actually cause. So, one of my personal favourites as well. So, and that's it for the zombies. So, right, this is XT2K, and that has been my well, character walkthrough really.